Hey, what's up, people? It is Reaper here, and today I'm going to be telling you guys why you should be absolutely hyped for Hogwarts Legacy. Now, first and foremost, I just want to apologize. I know I haven't been uploading lately. School has just been, coming to a close, which means finals and getting all my final projects turned in. So I took a little bit of a break. But don't worry, guys, I'm back now, and I plan on uploading as consistently as possible into the future. So, Hogwarts Legacy. Now, this is looking like it could be one of, if not the best video games of 2023. I wouldn't be surprised if it wins Game of the Year, but obviously we're going to have to wait till it comes out and get our hands on it before we make any of those kind of judgments. But just judging off the gameplay and the team behind it and what they're all saying about it, it looks like it's going to be an amazing game. I'm considering pre-ordering, which is something I don't typically do, because I've been burned before. Black Ops 4, Fallout 76. No, but in all seriousness, I've really considered it, and I haven't pre-ordered a game in years. I usually wait for it to come out and buy it. Still don't know what I'll do for this one, but it's looking like it's a pretty safe bet, so I might pre-order. So, moving on along, let's get into some of the reasons why I think this game is going to be great. Obviously, you've got the graphics. I mean, the graphics just look amazing. All the trailers we've seen, they look absolutely awesome. All the visual effects with the spells and the brewing, they all look like they've done an amazing job, and big props to the team. If nothing else, at least the game looks crisp. Another thing that I think will work into this game's benefit is the fact that it's set before any of the books or movies. I'm not super versed in the Harry Potter lore by any means, but I know that the books and movies did not take place in the 1800s, and this game is in fact set in the past. I think it'll be cool to see some of the older technologies, which will also give us a context of how technology developed from 1800s into the future. So I think it'll be cool to see that transition. And I know this game's not technically canon or anything, but it's supposed to be as grounded into the lore and world as possible. And they worked with J.K. Rowling's team. So I'm very excited to see some of the older technologies and older settings of the Hogwarts and Harry Potter universe. The other reason why I think it's a good idea that they chose to make this game in the past and not related to any of the characters or books is they have absolute freedom of storytelling. I'm very glad they did this, because if they wanted to make a game set with the Harry Potter characters, then they should just make a Harry Potter game. But that's not what this is going to be. It's going to be an RPG. You're going to be able to build your own character. And if you built your own character, but then still had to follow the same story and setting and time period of the movies and films, I feel like that'd be kind of bland, because Harry Potter's the one that gets to do all the cool stuff. You'd just kind of be a side character. And maybe you could have your own adventure, but it just wouldn't be as interesting. So I'm very glad they chose to go the route they did. Another thing that's in this game's benefit is the fact that there is complete customization. I was watching some of the gameplay trailers where the devs are talking about how you can customize your broomstick, you can customize the things your character wears, and I also like that there's no microtransactions in this game. That is a huge benefit. Games nowadays get pretty bogged down by that, I feel like, and I understand why they do it. There's a lot of money to be made there, but it's kind of refreshing when you play a game nowadays and there's no microtransactions, because that means anything that is aesthetic you can unlock through challenges usually, or earn in-game money and buy it that way, which I really like. It kind of brings me back to the old days of gaming, when things, even if they're just for aesthetic, were fun to grind out rather than, oh, let me spend $20 on this new character pack. It just makes it not fun, in my opinion, and I don't typically do it in games that much. I'll spend a little money here and there, but I don't typically like doing it because it just doesn't feel that rewarding. Moving on, the RPG elements in this game, it looks like there's a lot there. First of all, obviously you can make your own character and customize them to look however you want. You can choose your own house, which is really cool. I like that they did that. I understand it's not exactly lore accurate, but let's be honest, if you played the game and you just had RNG luck when it came to the house you get picked in, that'd be really lame. So I like that you can choose your own house. Now, what benefits each house will have and won't have is yet to be seen, but I'm very curious to see the different kinds of characters you can make and how that character will fit into the house and how the house's traits will affect your character, vice versa. It looks to be really fun. And there's also a lot of ways that you can build your character as far as traits like combat. You can make them more defensive, more stealthy, more offensive. it looks like there's a lot there to unpack, and I personally can't wait to get my hands on it. One of the things I'm most excited to do in this game is just ride a broom around. I mean, they've got this big open world that you can just explore with your broom. It reminds me of what they did with Spider-Man PS4, how you could just have fun just traversing the city through web swinging. It looks like this game will have that through broom riding, and there's kind of a system to it where they talked about a meter that goes up and down depending on what you're doing on the broom. I don't really know how that's going to work out or if that'll be fun, but either way, it looks like they put a lot of thought into this aspect of the game, and if you're going to have a wizard world, you got to ride a broomstick. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. One of the things I'm most excited to explore in this game is the taming of wild creatures. Now, there's quite a few different creatures it looks like you can tame. It looks like you can ride some of them as well. You can even have what the devs called like your own personal little fish tank, so to speak, of creatures that you've tamed, and you can customize that how you want. It just looks like a really fun aspect of the game, and when you're in this world of mythical creatures and magic and stuff, I feel like the made-up animals or beasts are a big part of that, and I really like that you're going to be able to interact with them, tame them, ride them. It looks like it'll be a really fun aspect of the game, and who knows, maybe it could even play into the story a little bit, or even you could do some combat on the creatures. I don't know if they've said that they're going to do that or not, but I would really hope that they add something like that in, because it could be super fun fighting off people while you're riding a griffin, you know what I mean? The other thing I think this game really has going for it is the world just looks like it would be really fun to explore. So they've already said that you're going to be able to fully explore Hogwarts, and they said that there's going to be puzzles to do, hidden passageways, dungeons within Hogwarts, and not only that, but you can go outside of Hogwarts to surrounding towns. There's forests connecting them. I mean, the world just looks amazing, and it looks like it'd be a lot of fun to explore. Now, not everything in this game looks perfect. I do have some complaints, but they're nitpicks at the most, and I think the game will still be amazing, but let's get into them. First and foremost, the fact that there's not Quidditch is a little disappointing. I don't think it would make or break the game by any means, but when you're having so much of the game, it looks like dedicated to using your broomstick and flying around, you'd think that Quidditch would just be a no-brainer to add, and they said that it's not going to be a part of the game. And unless they change something down the line and add it in a DLC, which I don't even know if they can do that because they did say there's no microtransactions. Not really sure if DLC counts towards a microtransaction, but either way, the fact that there's no Quidditch at launch is a little disappointing. Maybe it's a lore thing. Like I said, I'm not too versed in Harry Potter lore. Maybe in the time period this game takes place, Quidditch hadn't been invented yet. Not sure, but they have things like broomstick races, it looks like, and other things like that. And you'd think Quidditch would just be a no-brainer thing to add as a mini-game of some sort, but they said it's not in the game. So, little disappointing on that front, but at the end of the day, I think the game will still be good. The other thing that has me a little concerned for this game is the upgrade system looks a little boring. Now, obviously, I won't know if it's interesting or not until I get my hands on it, but just based off some of the video I've seen, it looks like a card-based system for upgrading, and my experience in games is typically when upgrade systems are based around cards, or you have to collect a certain number of cards to upgrade your character or buy this bonus, it typically just ends up being boring. But like I said, maybe they'll do it in a cool way. Maybe I'm being too skeptical here, but like I said, these are just my nitpicks. Now, here are some of the things that I have some mixed feelings about. First and foremost, the story. Now, what I will say is I'm pretty optimistic that the story will be good. They were talking about how there's going to be a goblin revolution, and I believe the words they used in the FAQ, which if you guys want to look through the FAQ, I will have it linked in the description so you guys can read through it. But they said that there's a possible goblin revolution, which makes me think that the player is going to have the choice whether to snuff out the revolution or maybe assist the goblins with what they need help with so there doesn't need to be a revolution, or maybe you have the choice to make the revolution worse or something like that. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but the word choice makes me think that there's going to be something you can do to make or break the goblin revolution. But either way, it sounds interesting. And they also said that there's going to be a mystery factor involved with some dark arts practices that not even the professors at Hogwarts understand. So I think that'll be really cool to go through the story and see what that mystery is. I do like games that add mystery to their story. It makes it very entertaining, and you can kind of theorize what's going on before it happens. It's just very thought-provoking, and I think it'll be a fun addition to the game. However, because this story is not made by J.K. Rowling, it has the potential to be a little dull. Now, I don't think they'll do that because the devs have said in the FAQ that they tried to emulate J.K. Rowling's style of storytelling in the world she envisioned. So I think it'll be good, but there's always that chance that they screw up the story. And if they screw up the story, the rest of the game might not be that good, because if there's no story, there's no game. The other thing I have mixed feelings about is the combat. Now, on paper and from the videos I've seen, it looks pretty fluid and it looks like it's going to be fun. But at the same time, there's also been games that come out where the combat looks fun in the trailers, and then you actually play it and it's kind of dull. This happened to Gotham Knights very recently. I didn't buy the game, so I can't judge it too much, but from what I've been seeing is people weren't really fans of the combat system. It was boring and it lacked depth and it didn't feel rewarding. And I'm worried that this game could feel the same way. Now, I don't think that that'll happen, but there's always that possibility. So it's got me a little skeptical. The other thing I'm kind of mixed about is that the fact that there's no moral choices. Typically in RPGs, I like the ability to be the bad guy or the good guy, or the morally gray guy who does some good things and some bad things. This one said that there's not moral choices, but there is a caveat to that in the fact that it says that there are choices you can make that impact your character. Now, as to what that means, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe you can start practicing dark arts if you so choose, but not use it in an evil way, because it said there's no moral choices, but the choices you make impact your character. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work into the game, but I am very excited to see what they do with it, and I think it'll be a lot of fun regardless. Overall, this game has me super excited. I can't wait to see what they all have in store. There's probably so much to this game that they haven't revealed, and it's just going to be new to us when we pick it up on the day it comes out. If you guys want to see more coverage of this game, let me know in the comments below. I will most likely be picking it up, but if I don't decide to pre-order it and I see that it gets bad reviews, I'm not going to buy it. That's just what it is. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, as it truly does help my channel a lot. If you want to see more in the future, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment and let me know, what are your thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy? Are you excited? Are you skeptical? A little bit of both. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.